Ascension, collective, creative arts, and entertainment field of the omnipresent. And we're going to talk about the creative arts and entertainment field. We all see that the old ideals and old expectations of industry have been changing quite dramatically as the consciousness of humanity is changing. So we're so happy to see some of these grander things within our social collective are shifting around our consciousness. Just as we said in our last video that science is a mapping, it was a mapping just as the was a mapping of our old consciousness and our consciousness of becoming in greater light and becoming in greater alignment, understanding how we create reality, understanding that it is from within and above. And if there is no alignment, then the intentions and the manifestations will be skewed and they will be of those lesser beliefs and those lesser alignments. So it's really important from here on out, which we're going to talk about today, creator consciousness codes. We're going to keep reminding everybody every day how you create your reality, what is important and imperative in creating your reality, and how understanding that you are the vessel of the divine, you are the vessel of the heavens, you are a representation of the heavens, whether you choose to believe it or not, or whether your dialects or dogmatic experiences or your dogmatic beliefs or your smaller beliefs want you to believe something different, or that you've chosen to take those on as something different, but you are a vessel of the divine, period. You are a universal being, period. You are multidimensional, period. And understanding how to create your reality through these higher vibrational light wisdom truths will allow you a better journey, if you will, because you want to be able to feel as if you can just surrender into life every day and micromanage life. But you're not meant to micromanage life. You're meant to just surrender all of those miraculous unfoldings to Source Creator and trust that in the alignment of who you are within your higher self, that higher self has the soul blueprint of who you are throughout all creation, that you have had various roles and various dynamics of how and who and what area, what energy you wanted to play to gain the experience that you had from either a shadow lifetime or an experience of being a dynamic front person or a person that was in the background. All of these experiences allowed you to pull forward certain energies and expertise so that in another lifetime or in another role and in another cycle, you can take a different role and a different approach. This is why we do have cycles. It's why it's very important to take the back seat role. This is why it's important to take the driver's seat role sometimes. And it's important to know how you can move in and about the divine feminine, divine masculine energies quite fluidically, as we've talked about the trans energy, and allowing yourself that fluidic transfer of energy so that you're not staying in one cycle and stagnant in one cycle that's going to repress, suppress, or create those separations. And we're just going to mark down the Interpol investigations. 20 people just signed on just now at the very same time. So we know that there is an organized intention there. And there still is investigations going on for those that have been stalking, spying, harassing, and hacking into my platforms to silence me. And we show it every time that we go up for a live stream video. So we're just noting that at that very 1 second, 20 people signed on all at once. And so we're just noting that. And so today we're going to talk about the creator consciousness codes, how it's ever so important, that we're talking about intention and how intention manifests and how that affects the creative output. And so we're moving into a new dynamic era of, we've called it the Alexandria era, where we're coming in golden experience of recreating what is wisdom to us, recreating what is and how we manifest creativity, how we manifest and craft our own genius, how we manifest and craft who we are as the divine, a representation of the divine. And again, the divine is the highest umbrella. The manifestation of the Mother Father's plan, the heavens, is the highest umbrella. And then from that trickle down dimensional experience, if we go from the 13th to the lowest dimension, 3D dimensions, a 3D reality is how we have dissected hundreds and hundreds of different types of religions that we have placed kind of under the grander umbrella of the divine. The divine is the Mother, Father, God, and the operation of the higher heavens hierarchy within the Metatronic light systems and the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is a consciousness experience of light and unity consciousness. It has nothing to do with religious dogmatic beliefs. And so we're moving into this idea of releasing the dogmatic, smaller beliefs, if you will, religion, and allowing ourselves to become under the grander umbrella of the divine. Each and every one of us is a divine vessel. We are each a divine vessel from what we've come to learn in a divine feminine body or a divine masculine body. It doesn't matter what body we take on, and knowing that each body will allow its cycle of divine feminine masculine energies and those stories that each hold within itself to heal and transcend 51% of the karma of whatever those roles we're experiencing. Everyone has played darker roles. Everyone has played a divine feminine and masculine role. We've each come here to move about the grander play of creation, if you will. So if you can imagine that you are in a play, you're always in a play. And depending on what your soul is asking you to learn, it will call forward those soul fragments for you to learn whatever it is in your play at that moment. Whether you're meant to play the antagonist or the protagonist, whether you're meant to play a background character, whether you're meant to play the main character, whether you're meant to play the hero's journey, whatever that play is offering you at that time, based on that cycle of have you learned the lessons you're meant to learn? Have you learned standing and speaking in your truth, nobody else's truth? Have you learned to come forward and create with your unique creative expression? Have you learned to call forward and be okay in the receiving energy? Have you learned to be okay with calling all valid and true and real? So all of these experiences allow you to keep churning and keep churning and keep alchemizing the experiences of lesser beliefs, of lesser perspectives, so that you can rise into the higher vibrational being that you are, always harmonizing, always transmuting, always coming into a new version of you. Because you want to be this higher self version of you. The higher self version of you is the one that holds the soul's blueprint, and it will trigger and it will bring forward at people before you and situations and circumstances before you, so that you're facing anything that is still in your field, anything that is still in the DNA, or anything that is still in the, say, the mental field, emotional field, spiritual field for you, or the cosmic field, for you to bring forward these energies of less than, non-importance, you're not God's self, whatever those beliefs are of less than, so that you can move into a higher level of sovereignty. And the higher self is the pure sovereignty, the God self. And it remains always on the other side, and it's connected with you, and you usually hear it in that little voice that is within you. If you do practice daily meditation, the higher self is that voice that is always guiding you in the alignment and in the representation of the heavens. And it supersedes all religious beliefs, if you will. The higher self is always the God self of who you are. It holds your soul's blueprint with God, Mother, Father, creation, and all the planets that you belong with. It understands, the higher self knows and sees every dimension that you're in, all aspects of you. The higher self knows this. And this is why it's always good to align daily and do your daily ascension pathwork, so that your higher self can keep aligning you with the highest perspectives of who you are, and what your soul's blueprint is offering you in the highest level of your highest timeline co-creation, your highest timeline potential. It has nothing to do with religion, it has nothing to do with you. It won't direct you necessarily to any religions. It will offer you various pathways or doorways or portals for expression only, for experience only. But it won't ask that you ever stay there, because your higher self is, again, the God self. So it wants you to know that all creation, the higher umbrella of the divine order, is your grander higher order. It's your higher umbrella. So why stay in smaller practices? Why stay in smaller beliefs where you're dissecting, defining, discriminating, separating, and making small, when you could be the grander version of self? And that has to come through your 3 A's of all other aspects of self. And then just keeping that harmony of moving back and forth within the infinity, that you can move within a divine feminine masculine energy and a divine masculine understanding, divine feminine understanding, and then still stand in your truth of being harmonic within yourself. That way you're always aligning with self of the highest, so that nothing outside of you becomes your surrender into. You never surrender anything to the outer, because it is always as within, so without, and as above, so below. You are the only manifestational compass, and your higher self is always there with God. From your very first incarnation, your very first breath from God, the Mother and the Father breathed you from its very first incarnation in the highest level of whatever this universe offered, whenever your first incarnation was. And then you have various dimensions and various bodies and various planets that you chose to take on these different roles for the grander totality of who you are as a soul. And that is becoming soul infused, where in which there is no separation, there is no discrimination, there is no judgment. You are one with the all, and the all is one with you. And that is the highest order. It is a very low order of intelligence, of non-intelligence, if you are discriminating and separating, fear-based contracts, fear-based discriminations, fear-based judgments, and you're separating and having the misogyny and the bigotry of judging one over the other and judging one above the other or less than the other. And then it goes into treatment where those belief patterns and those perspectives and those woundings of separation, those woundings of lack of self, those woundings of no sense of self, those woundings of no harmony within oneself, no engagement within oneself, no love of oneself, they become then self-hate practices, debaucherous underworld practices, and then it becomes into even greater lack of self, because the inner part of you is asking for you to harmonize and bring it into commandmentship, because you are the commander, you are the greater person of all of your soul fragments. So if these soul fragments are not healed and you're not harmonizing them within a grander union of you, that's when it becomes a psychosis experience where there's breakages. And you can actually see the breaks in the aura that outline the first version of you, this human version of you. So it's always up to you and every day. Are you doing your daily path work? It will be ever more important for people to do so that they remain grounded, they remain in their body, they remain in standing of honoring of who they are, and they're not being confused with the various psyche aspects that are not healed. So if you're not looking at the wounding of divine feminine, if you're not looking at the wounding of, say, rejection or abandonment, whatever these soul fragments are, if you're not looking at them and healing them, then it becomes very scattered energy. And this version of you that's in the body trying to manage all these psyche aspects, they're not being healed because you're not facing the shadow, you're not facing the energies. Then you just manifest those karmic situations, you're manifesting more karmic people, you're manifesting the same energy because you haven't healed that energy of abandonment. And so we're going to talk about, I just have a couple pages of quick channeling today. So thank you for joining. Anybody that would like to book a session for lectures, classes, webinars of healing, activations, aligning with your 5D vocation, aligning with your 5D platform, if you want to move into a 5D, higher vibrational co-creative. We're going to talk a little bit today about the creative arts and entertainment field, not an industry, it's a field. And that's why the whole genre in and of itself of music and entertainment is kind of going through a bit of a lull, because it is stagnant in its energy and intention. So we want to talk about intention. It's really, really important, and why we're moving into a higher vibrational field of co-creative genius. So we got to be excited about it, because it's our consciousness that shifts everything in our creative collective, and everybody has a place within it. As we're moving into higher consciousness, we'll see less and less and less idealisms and energies and behaviors that act out in envy or jealousy or competition. Because we all know that each and every one of us is a unique individual. We each come with different soul aspects and soul experiences throughout the omnipresent journey. So it's really nil and void. It's really moot to go into any energy of competition. And competition just means you're not feeling a sense of self. You're not feeling confident in who you are. And that's when insecurity take over, because you're not healed. You're not bringing those segments in to heal and feel confident within that self. Therefore, it's looking at anything outside of itself as a threat. So we all know that if you're in a spiritual alignment, you know that you are the direct, unique offering as the representation of the heavens. You have unique skills, gifts, and talents that you're meant to offer. And in that, that's all that you need to do, is offer your highest passionate, co-creative offering, and allow everybody to do theirs. Stay in your lane, let everybody stay in their lane. Because each of us are a unique puzzle, and therefore there is no need for competition. Again, why the whole sacrificing thing and dark magic and dark occult and harvesting. If you understand the creational laws, if you understand how manifestation works, if you understand universal energy and universal laws work, you don't ever have to do anything that is ever a threat to anybody else, because everything that you need, everything that you move upon, everything that you allow to manifest within you is always that inner direction. It's always you. So if you're feeling competition or jealousy or envy, that just means that you're not feeling that within yourself. You're not feeling whole within yourself. You're not feeling aligned within yourself. You're not feeling honoring within yourself and self-loving within yourself, because it doesn't matter about anybody else outside of you and what they're doing. Your alignment with you is all that matters. And that's a part of my life's purpose that I've shown everyone, that there's been nobody else around me or beside me. There's been nobody lifting me. There's been nobody supporting me. There's been nobody protecting me. And I've managed to move through very harsh and very abusive experiences of others wanting different things from me and harvesting and wanting to thwart my story and wanting me to be silent and all of these things of others' intentions of me. It doesn't matter others' intentions of you. It doesn't matter what their energies are of you. You're standing fully in your divine experience, and your higher self is guiding you the entire way. Nothing outside of you matters. And so that was a big lesson, that my story can assist other people in the power of allowing yourself to be in complete harmonization with your higher self, with your spiritual teams. Your alliance with your light, your alliance with your teams, your alliance with Mother, Father, God is all you need. Even if you have nothing resource-wise, even if you have nothing family-wise, even if you have nothing friends-wise, you can survive and move through the shadows, and you can move through any of the outer seemingly challenging obstacles and still transcend the shadow, transcend the darkness, transcend the entity attachments, transcend underworld darkness, transcend those energies and entities and bodies and corrupt business and the corrupt rings of secret society abuses and all of the things that I've managed to move through and navigate through, because there was so many people that had a private agenda for me not becoming my highest version of me. And again, they have nothing to do with me and my path. They have nothing to do with who I write myself to be. They have nothing to do with God's divine plan. They're running their operation from their selfish agendas. And so thus then, again, nobody outside of you and their wills or their intention has any override of the universal soul's blueprint. Your higher self and your soul's blueprint is the highest compass. So that's all you should be paying attention to. And then therefore, again, if you are doing this and if you're in harmony and if you're doing your daily ascension path work, you never ever fall into jealousy or envy. And if you do, you just transmute it very quickly, because you understand that your unique puzzle piece is unlike anybody else's. And if you're comparing yourself to others and others are comparing themselves to you, then you're in a vibration that is very low, and you can move yourself away from those people. Because again, every soul is different. Every soul is unique. Every soul has a different dodecahedron, different soul aspects, different planets, different DNA activations that they've come with. And so it's up to each person. How are you operating and commanding of your life? That's all that matters. How are you operating your life? Doesn't matter about anybody else around you. And this is where, again, cults and covens and groups like that, they hold each other back, because usually the people in cults and covens and groups that are like that and seemingly like that, Masonic groups, they're only as intelligent as the being that's the highest intelligent within the group, because it's a groupthink experience. It's very important in what we learned about the Essenes. If you go back and read any of the stories and any of the books on the Essenes, Essenes, Jesus was a part of the Essenes collective. And they were very, very high vibrational, but they didn't step outside of their groups. They didn't step outside of their very stringent and rigid practices to grow. So that became their downfall. They didn't allow any outer ideologies or any outer beliefs or any outer potentials and any outer dreamings or ponderings. They were very, very rigid within their practices, which becomes a stagnancy at some point. You only become as high as your highest person within the group. So it's always good to keep fluid movement of source creator light, of source creator potential, of source creator bringing new energies in, moving about the planet, trying new different grids, trying new different places and genres and how people live, and exploring the 3 E's are so, so important, because it allows your soul to continue to grow and release yourself from small group and coven type of energies, because then it becomes stagnant, and you can, again, you're only going to become as best as the best person within that group. And if that person shouldn't always be reliant on bringing the highest ideals, it's up to everybody within the group to take on that responsibility and ownership to become their highest and their best. Therefore, thus then, everybody within the group is always challenging each other to be their highest and their best. And this is 5D vocational alignment sessions are all about. So if you have a business that you're moving and you choose to move into 5D New Earth Star, then I would suggest getting a 5D vocational session booking, so that you can assure that you're empowering and inspiring and enhancing your teams to be fully responsible within themselves, to bring their highest and their best to the table every day, so that you're not the only one, or that not one person is the only one responsible for doing so. Because groupthink can be very lazy. Groupthink can be very irresponsible to those that have been deemed the leader, if you will, because it puts all the pressure on that one person to keep bringing those new ideas. And then they go into such situations where they've created in the underworld harvesting, because they're not understanding that they have the highest vibration of their own life force within them. They don't know they have a life force within them. They're not using the life force within them, and they go to other people to get that life force and feed it through themselves. They do sex orgies and all of these things to manifest life force from other people. Therefore, and then we're showing it right now because it is, many of those people that do such practices, because of their intention, we're going to talk today about intention. Intention is so important to your creational reality, and why you will see the manifestations through your intentions. Intentions will equal your manifestations. It will equal your karma, good or bad. And so your intentions that you're putting in to pull energy from people, you're going to manifest that negative karma, because you don't need to. You have your own life force within you. You don't need to go outside of you. You never did, you never will. So we have to re-entrain ourselves as to who are we. We are the representation of the heavens. You don't need to go outside of you. Go within. And so We understand that we want to create a new ideal and a new belief about creational reality. Can you imagine that every day you wake up, you're creating a romance with creation? Who are you, what you exist within, and what's going on within you? And can you embody and can you infuse and can you inspire a romantic creational experience? Every inhale and every exhale is your romantic engagement with creation. If you choose to experience a new vibrational intention, new intention of who you are, what you exist within, and what's going on within you, within your creational reality, you can allow that beautiful flow of source creator to live in and out as every inhale and every exhale. The inhale is as romantic as the exhale. You need both. You need to acquire that beautiful experience of who you are in the moment of the inhale, who you are in the moment of the exhale, and how they're both equal opportunity experiences to nourish the vessel, to calm the vessel, to bring nourishment to the organs, to bring nourishment to the cells. And then you're infusing the intention of love and light. The intention of love and light allows your body to be renewed. It allows your body to be grounded. It allows your body to be at peace and be in presence. And presence is so important to your intention. If you are not in presence, presence meaning that you can align your body in breath and intention and stillness at the centerpiece of your heart. And when you do this with intention, you're balancing the body chemistry, you're balancing the biochemical, physical energy attributes within your body, and you're allowing yourself a moment of space, of higher mind time, surrendering to the higher mind. What is this? What is my highest intention and my highest divine co-creation? And from the center of who I am, because I'm aligning in this breath with my higher self, surrendering to my higher self, my intention will always be the highest. Therefore, the output will always be the highest. But if you're not maintaining that everyday connection of presence within your higher self, of the harmony of the God self, then you're very chaotic in whatever is moving through you because you're not practicing in working with your multidimensional bodies and fields, and you're not the commandmentship of who you are as the representation of the heavens. So we want to teach you these new ascension tips and practices so that you're manifesting a higher version of yourself and your higher harmonic experience of yourself. Because as we say, one of the awakening's quickest and highest truths is that spirit is the only quickener. So if you are not harmonizing with your higher self, and if you are not choosing to be present with your higher self in important moments of decision making, then you are choosing to be chaotic in old patterns of whatever was. Because if you're not aligning in a new belief, if you're not aligning in a new perspective, if you're not aligning with the new harmonies of the higher self, you're just going to be moving in the old patterns of what you have been, because you're not entraining something higher. And so if you can choose to create loving and divine, a daily ascension pathwork, I suggest doing it in the morning and at night so that you're setting the intention for your day. You're setting the intention for your body, heart, mind, body, and soul, and to have your spirit harmonize with you in every new vibrational moment that you choose. And do your breath breaks throughout the day just to realign your heart, mind, body, and soul. Just to keep reminding yourself that harmony with spirit is your highest intention. Harmony with spirit is your higher self direction of your soul's blueprint. Your higher self will unfold those aspects of what's coming for you in your soul's blueprint for your highest vibrational learning, your highest vibrational potentials, your higher vibrational actions. All of those are experiences that's your higher self's role, is to have your guides and your spirit guides help bring forward situations, people, and circumstances so that this version of you can constantly churn. And churn is just another word for alchemizing everything in every moment, because you know that you're a constant flowing infinite creator being of source creator. So you're going to take past moments, you're going to take past experiences, and you're going to surrender to the higher self and say that this is this now version of who I am, divine feminine masculine energies. I have a higher sense of being, I have a higher sense of belief patterns, and I'm creating higher perspectives of myself. What's next? So this is a constant reminder. We're going to give tips and practices of how important intention is to keep valuing and honoring and updating so that the flow of source light can move in and out of your biophysical vessel to keep its light oscillation at its highest, or capacity and aptitude. We want to make sure that you're constantly clearing and cleansing and grounding and staying in a now presence so that you can constantly, and just after a while, it will be just second nature that you become the higher self. And that's usually when we're entering into the 5D gates, and that higher self can take over and become its full Merkaba. And that full Merkaba clicks on when these soul fragments of the 51% are fully harmonized and actualized. It's called self-actualization, and you become literally a ball of fire, because your energy body is so high that the matter outside of you just kind of dissipates. And that's when we can use our consciousness to do things like bilocate, manifest a new body, and so on and so forth. We don't necessarily need machines to go travel. We can just teleport. So all of these things are possible because we've manifested harmonization of those 51% of aspects that were not in harmony. So harmony and presence is so important to intention. So you want to write that down. That was very important. And if you can practice that every morning, get yourself used to practicing. What is my new intention for the day? What is my intention for my body? What is my intention for body? What is my intention for my higher light thoughts? What are my intentions for the manifestation of an emotionally balanced soul tribe, an emotionally balanced lover? How can I move into a higher vibrational vocational environment? A vocational environment supports who you are as a soul, skills, talents, and abilities, and your potential makeup as the higher self, because we want you to always expand in your higher intelligence. And how did we say in our last video? Higher intelligence is only accessible by what? And through what? Intelligence is always and only accessible through light. There is no intelligence in darkness, and that's why they cycle in the same patterns. And that's why they're all backed in the corner right now, because that's the only place for them to go. That is the only place darkness goes, is around and around in little corners in their same patterns, because there is no light. They do not know how to expand outside of their darkness and their patterns. So light is the only highest intelligence. And how do you and how can you in your daily ascension path work, being a multi-vibrational being that you are, and being that you have new creator consciousness codes, and we're going to go a little bit further than we did our last video, so I'm going to go really, really fast. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for keeping up with my fast speech. I know that you've been with me for a little while, and I want to thank all of my returning clients and customers, and I love you so much, and you are so very dearly loved. We're going to try, I always try and remember, to do light language in every one of our videos so that we can make sure that we're clearing away any dense blocks. And we're going to talk about creator consciousness codes and how that is the all of you, the highest version of you that comes forward with alien, celestial, galactic, cosmic, and all of your earth timelines. And that's what is the creator consciousness codes, because you're now becoming a soul infused conscious creator. And those codes are going to be implemented. And how you come forward, as I said in my last video, a lot of my Egyptian codes were coming through because I was working more directly with Thoth. And a lot of those veils have been removed because I was doing a lot of the alchemy. And so those codes and those creator codes become more consciously available to me. So I'm easier channeling between those lifetime perspectives of Egypt. And it felt really, really wonderful. And it felt really, like I was back home. So that's part of the gift of Source Creator. That's part of God's eternal life gifts for you. Sometimes they're not intangible things and presents, if you will, the things that we think are our gifts. Sometimes they're just the remembrances of the most loving timelines that you've had as being your highest version of you, or being with the tribes that you've loved the most. So that's also part of your multidimensional gifts, because you're moving into a more version of soul-infused wholeness. And that when you're being whole within yourself, it is like coming home, and it's like you're your best family, you're your best friend, you're your best tribe, because all of these aspects are you in it. If you're not transmuting the density of these energies or timeline experiences, then you can't get to the light of who you are. So that's why alchemy is everything. Alchemy is everything, alchemy is everything, alchemy is everything. And I call it churning, because every day you're just churning into the new version of you. You're crafting yourself, you're designing yourself. And that's truly what living in higher vibrational living is. You're choosing to be a conscious creator. You're choosing to set intention of who you are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, multidimensionally, because you want to be able to fall in love with and be romantic with the higher version of you that is always connected to every dimension, all timelines, all realms, all versions of you. Right? We don't want to be separatory, or we don't want to be discriminatory to who we are. We want to be able to accept all that we are and have it flow harmoniously within each other, because your dark aspects offer you just as much wisdom as the light aspects do. And we know that it's up to us to nourish and enhance and cleanse and clear so that we can maintain our daily physical bodies. We have to clear and cleanse our physical bodies daily, because we come within an 8-foot field above, around, and it surrounds you, an 8-foot field. So it's up to you every day to clear and cleanse your fields. So if you want to book a session with me on how to do that, those that are around a lot of people, those that are constantly with a certain group of people, or if you're constantly around a certain collective of people, it is important that you clear and cleanse and set your intention every day. because your intention can get muddled with others' intentions. And especially if you're around those that you know that do black magic and voodoo over you, or they're wanting to try and manifest and manipulate your energy. They want to manifest your destiny. They want to really fuck with you. You know, unfortunately, those have been the ones that have been in my life story. Unfortunate, not unfortunate, is I've learned a lot and I'm 100 times stronger. It's just made for an exhausting journey. So all of that is changing now because Source has got me on some new things, and Source has kind of cut the cords on all those that have been harvesting and stealing and selling and bidding. Those are a lot of the old world dark occult practices that on our planet everyone is now being offered to awaken to, so that they can choose with conscious choice to move forward in 5D New Earth, or continue the shift off to Epstein Earth, where they continue exploring dark occults, which is entropy practices. And everybody is given that free will, because we are moving forward in 5D. And so it is an entropy practice, dark occults, darkness, or moving into higher vibrational light, which is aligning with your heavenly body, which is the higher umbrella. Church and state and are the lowest umbrella, and they're separative, and that's why we have so many different religions on our planet. The higher umbrella is you're a divine being, period. So why not take the highest version of you first instead of the lower separate experiences? And so we understand that it's our responsibility every day to set the intention so that we're clearing and cleansing our field. We're staying present in our present moment. So in that present, we're trusting Source Creator, we're trusting God, we're trusting that we've moved through enough ascension skills, gifts, and practices that we know how to face everything that comes before us from a heart-centered space, so that we can understand and feel into the energies of whatever is before us, and then choose from the highest intention of who we are through that breath and intention. That breath and intention can align you with your highest version of you, so that you're always creating and manifesting the highest creator God path for you. Because if you're in this intention of surrendering to your higher self, you'll always create the higher God path. And that is in always, 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 always in alignment with your soul's blueprint. Nothing outside of you will sway you. So it doesn't matter what others want of you. It doesn't matter others want a destiny swap with you because they're too lazy to do the work on their own destiny. They're too lazy to go within and face themselves in their shadow. They want your destiny instead because they think your destiny is far greater than theirs. But they don't know that because they haven't done any exploration or expression or experience within themselves. That's why doing your daily ascension pathwork is pivotal. And you'll see that those that don't do daily ascension pathwork, those that don't create the self-loving path, they will be the ones that will be chaotic in a lot of dark negative karma, because they have to face those shadows. Whether it's forced, whether it's bringing themselves into a manifestation of an illness or a disease, whatever their manifestation is, they have manifested it 100%. So we're seeing more and more now that everything within your reality is your intentional manifestation. So how intention is so important in what you do and how you're creating your benevolent or not malevolent, depending on what your energy you're moving through. So it's really important to, again, maintain your daily clearing and cleansing and your maintenance of your heavenly body, and align to the higher self that is always carrying your highest soul's blueprint. Your higher self is always connected with God's plan for you. And there's nothing that supersedes it, obviously, because it is your universal soul's blueprint, the divine soul's blueprint that God has written with you, for you, of you, all the way up to the 13th dimension, because you are connected to all aspects of you. So Skywalkers and Earthlings alike, what exciting times that you are all in, giving yourselves the manifestations of everything before you, showing yourselves quite subtly and quite not subtly at times, how intangible and how very real your manifestations are. Your intentions create your manifestations. Your creational reality is, what are your intentions? How are you directing your intentions? And what are your focus of your intentions? They should only be with you, of you, in you. If you're doing anything that is in everybody else and you're moving in anybody else's lane, you're wanting them to force them to be in your story, you force them to be in your lane, you want them to force to stay back with you, whatever it is you have of anybody else and doing it, whether it's magic or voodoo on anybody else, those are dark occult practices, and they are against spiritual law, they're against spiritual order, they're against human rights, they're against the universal higher order laws, all of these things, because what you're moving yourself in intention to other people's energy, and you don't need to. You don't have a right. And that's why we said in our last video that everybody has 30 days. If you're practicing dark occult and you're practicing magic, you better know your universal laws. You better know the higher spiritual laws that are transcendent of all 3D religions, because 3D is not the higher order. And you're going to get negative karma, and you're going to be stopped, and you're going to be pressed down until you actually understand that you affect the all. That your dark practices affect those people that you're taking from, and you don't have a right. Every soul has infinite access to source creator light within them. You don't need to ever go outside of you. And if you are going outside of you, then you are in abuse of spiritual laws. And it doesn't matter your 3D, low vibrational, cult, coven, and religious dogmatic church and state beliefs, because they are not higher order. It is very important that people do their own practice and do their own research and do their own inner work with spirit. Your inner work with spirit right now will determine what earth you reside on. It will determine your intentional vibration. Your compass is only within, period. And if you're getting energy from anybody else, you absolutely will go through negative karma. Because A, their energy is not your energy. You have no idea what their energy is like. And you're opening yourself up to whatever entities, these people that you're pulling on. And that includes if you're doing sex orgies and manifesting through sex and manifesting through conjuring and manifesting through the trickery of having sex with others and using their life force and not telling them. Or having sex with people when you know that you're infected and not advising people that you are infected. All of these things are abuse of your energy and life force and abuse of your physical vessel that is a divine vessel. And you will get negative karma because you're not respecting the fact that you are a representation of the heavens. And everybody has the right use of free will to understand in 100% truth. Are we being responsible, and are we being mature in who we are and what we are and how we are sharing our life force bodies? Is everybody mature now? Or is everybody putting their goods on the table? Can you be a mature, responsible person about what it is you're seeking and what it is you want out of a situation? And can you allow those that want to move on, allow them to move on? Because you understand free will. It's the number one law of the universe. And if you break that law, and if you break it over and over and over again, and if you break it over and over again when you've been told a bajillion times to stop doing what you're doing, then you absolutely deserve the karma your will sit in. And sometimes it will be something that you cannot walk away from because you have done it so blatantly and abusively to somebody else that didn't deserve to be held back and delayed and derailed and put into poverty and put into homelessness and put into defamation and false accusations in criminal court because of your false accusations. Their life was ripped upside down because you refused to sit and face who you are. And this is where every person in the dark occults, every person in warped Masonic societies, every person that thinks sacrificing is a way out and a thing that you're going to get something by. You ain't. And I'm going to be the teacher that will keep showing you ain't until you see yourself as the version of the heavens. And you can choose not to, I don't care. But I will come forward and speak for those that don't deserve to have their life force taken and raped and stolen from them every night because you don't know how to go within and get it from yourself. Because you don't have a right to touch another person's soul, spirit. You don't have a right to dream rape them. You don't have a right to sit in their energy field. You don't have a right to force yourself in their energy so that you can feel better about yourself. Because when they said no the first time, it meant actually no. It didn't mean come along with me in my ride, because you can't come along with them because your consciousness is not the same. You're not there. You haven't done the healing. You cannot be with a divine being like myself. You cannot be with the divine feminine when she said no 18 billion times and you continue to do sex magic, you continue harvesting magic, you continue to lie and defame her every day to make her look bad, while it's actually your life that you need to face and look at. And when she said no the first time, it meant no, leave her alone. You don't have a right to keep raping her life. And there will be negative karma for every person involved. Of the 50 that were involved in destroying my life story, in creating the lies and the webs and the manipulations and everything that has been done on my life. Withholding money, withholding information, withholding mail, withholding everything that could allow me a positive step forward. And who in their right mind, and think about this very blatantly, the policing, the officials, and everybody involved, what mentality do you have to have when you have groups of up to 50 that will do anything and everything possible to assure that one divine feminine healer that moves little wormies off to the soil so that they can get back to the soil and make good, better soil for the earth, for our food, for our air, and for our water? What is it of anybody's practice to say that they know better of how she can receive and how she should receive and who she should receive from, and absolutely damn her and punish her if she's ever going to make 1 ounce step forward? And who is anybody to say that they have power and handlingship over her and ownership over her? There's actually people in our collective that think they own me. How vile is that? Because they pass on a piece of paper, and because they've been harvesting off of me since the day that I was born, because they've been doing voodoo and they've been doing holding back spells and they've been doing glamour spells to make me look like somebody I'm not, to make me look like I'm a porn star, to make me look like I'm crazy, to make me look all of these things. It's absolutely 100% utter lies. And how dare anybody that has never met me, that has never spoke to me, that has never even known me as a beautiful soul that I am, but to take and rape from me. And these people actually think that in their mind that they're entitled to keep using and abusing me. That is the level of misogyny and degradation and retardation of some of the souls on our planet. And this is why the dangers of black occult, the dangers of conjuring, the dangers of demon conjuring, the dangers of deity conjuring, you don't understand what you're doing. You should be very, very, very discerning of what you do and how you do it. Because it's coming back tenfold, and ain't nobody getting out of this. Ain't nobody walking away from this just by saying, oops, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to conjure you into death about 1 billion times. Can we be friends now? I didn't mean to do a death spell on you. I didn't mean to dance on people's graves and wish that you wouldn't go, wish away. I didn't mean to put you in a jar 1,000 times. I didn't mean to put 1,000 pins in the voodoo doll and wish you death and illness and disease. I didn't mean to. Everything that you manifest through intention is coming back at you, dear lighted ones. And make no mistake, if you call yourself a practitioner, if you call yourself a spiritual guide, you better bet that that's what you are. Because you don't deserve any collective in front of you. If you say you are a guide and you are teaching them how to hurt and harm people and put them in freezer jar spells and how to take their energy from their life force by doing sexual things in your private spaces when they have said no, stop, and they don't even understand what's going on. You don't have a right to take people's energy. You don't have a right to touch their spirit. You don't have a right to touch their soul. Who the fuck are you? I'm going to keep calling you out. I'm going to keep calling you out. I don't care about your title. I don't care about your false ass name. I don't care. I see what goes on in a dream rape. I see what goes on. I felt it. It's happened to me countless times. I have seen what happens at sex orgy parties where they're trying to manifest off your energy. It's disgusting. And then they do snuff videos, and then they do videos about how exploited from you and how powerful they were over you. It's vile. I don't understand the mentality of people that think these things are okay. They actually glorify themselves by to see how much they can take from the innocent people that have no idea they're being dream raped. So we're going to have new laws because it starts with your intention. If you have an intention to take somebody else's energy or to cloak yourself so that you don't look guilty or to do whatever it is that you do, everything in energy work is intentional, period. So I'll meet you in criminal court, and anytime that you say I didn't mean to, that's BS. Because everything in dark energy work, anything in occultism, anything in warlockery, anything in masonry is all about intention, and y'all know it. That's everything to do with magic. Magic is intentional. Your karma begins with intention, period, point fucking blank. It also intends with your body. From here on out, your body's going to be more and more light. So anything that you intend with your body, be sure you know who you're sleeping with. And you should be having mature conversations, responsible conversations, who they slept with. Because if you're willy-nilly bed hopping because it makes you feel good about yourself because you're not facing your issues, and if you haven't spent 5 years alone by yourself healing your body, clearing your body, and getting right with your body, you can't say you're healed. If you're bed hopping, if you're house hopping, if you've got more than 3 or 4 or 5 partners, you got a little harem with infinite kids that are running around, and you're not taking accountability for any of it, you're not healed. And you're going to bring into any new relationship, any entities that you've got attached to you and any entities that anybody else has been attached to you of however many people you've slept with. It's a mess. And somebody that's healed like myself, that's why there's been people that have been removed from my life. It doesn't matter how much those other people may want me because they know that my energy cannot be found anywhere else. This is why they're so obsessive, and this is why they're still doing whatever they can do to try and get me and take me and target me and kill me. Because they know that my energy cannot be got anywhere else. Again, if you look at the intelligence, again, how intelligent would it be if you think that my energy is nowhere to be found, but you go out and kill me anyways? Then what? Okay, then what? Again, no intelligence. You have your own energy within you. Your body is becoming your intention. Your reality is becoming your intention. And who are you, what do you exist within, and what's going on within you? These are higher vibrational teachings. It is the way it is. It's karmic quantum law. It's either good neutral or negative, you choose. So again, it begins with your belief. Who are you? Choose every day to work with your ascension pathwork at the beginning of every day. Set the intention, who are you? And align with your higher self. Your higher self is your God self, and it is always connected. It will always align you with your higher soul's blueprint. Everything that creates is a new perspective. Your God omnipresence will mirror to you. Your reality will reflect to you where you are at vibrationally. Again, where are you at vibrationally in your collective? So every day you're going to have these situations come forward, and it will show you where you're vibrating. So then you can choose to align in the presence. Breath and intention, align with a new intention so that you're manifesting every day throughout your day in higher vibrational presence of the higher self. Just surrender every day with simple affirmations of aligning with your higher self, the mother and the father God aspect of you. Then everything that you manifest before you becomes higher and higher vibrational. And yes, you're going to have your little setbacks, but that's just a part of entrainment of becoming a higher vibrational being. Your vessel is constantly communicating with you of what it is existing within. Again, so if you're in and around people that are negative, or you're in different environments, listen to your body, because your body is becoming more and more omnipotent, which means that it can sense source energy in a higher vibrational status. Your cells are becoming faster. Your vibrational fields, your emotional, mental, causal field is becoming more attuned. So therefore you can sense and you can feel and you can understand who you are at a higher vibrational experience. It doesn't matter where you go. Many of us have done a lot of sacred land travels. So whenever we're on sacred land or we're in spaces and sacred sites, our bodies immediately start becoming higher activated in those sacred site portals from where the grids are being pulled up energy. And also every day we're being bathed with new omnipresent light. So the sacred sites are being updated every day. Those are what we've called Gaia's chakras. Gaia does have chakras, and they're called sacred sites. And those sacred sites offer great energy for those of us that align our bodies with different creator consciousness codes, whether it's celestial, galactic, ancient, and so on. And that's why we represent ourselves with space and places, if you will, like Egypt or Sedona, right? All of those have codes, and they're being updated all the time. So it's good that you get out on the planet and you move, but know that your body is constantly communicating with you on what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So listen to it. Listen to how your body communicates, and teach the children to listen to their bodies. And we should be teaching children at the earliest of ages light wisdom, so that they can honor and understand their chakra systems. They can honor and understand the fields they exist within, so that they will never be dream raped. They will never be consciously stolen from. They will never be affected in their chakra systems or their soul's destiny. And they won't have what's happening on the planet. The elite soul harvesting is there has been actual groups, and there's been actual elite companies. It's no different than what YouTube has been silencing me and taking money from elite sectors of church and state to silence me and make sure that I'm never get heard or seen, like they have any right to say, like they override God's plan for me. It's ridiculous. It's just the arrogance is so benign. But it's like there's been these groups and these Epstein-like agendas where they've been knowing and seeing and tracking those beings that are star seeds and are higher light beings, and then they go about a targeting program, and the elites take and harvest energy from the star seeds. These elites take energy and ideas and content from those of us self, where every part of my life gets swarmed by a group or a paid cult and coven, which I believe, I know intuitively that the cults and covens that were a part of targeting me, there is a higher order of directives that these people, these minions, are acting on their targeting directives. So that's just the intuitive hits that I'm getting. It does go higher. So those higher directives contact the minion groups, the secret society groups, the cults and covens in whatever city that you live in, and they're responsible for handling you. They're responsible for sabotaging you and targeting you and attacking you, and every day is a relentless fight for you to be who you are. They're meant to make your life as difficult and as hellish as possible. In my case, because of my unique energy and because of however many timelines that these people and these most corrupt beings that we're a part of, it was my job to bait these people and to pull them out so that they could be seen for who they are, because they've been hurting many, many people. They've taken many people out. They're corrupting and they're luring innocent children into horrible situations because that's just who they are. They've become corrupt within themselves, and they've sold themselves to the devil many times, meaning that they're selling of their bodies, they're selling of their mind, heart, body, and soul for money. Their selfishness, their envy, their greed, whatever their demon is that they're not looking at, not facing, will be their own demise, will be the entity that will be attached to them. They've, taken in various aspects of dark occult practices, whether it's sex orgies to manifest stuff, whether it's harvesting to manifest stuff, whether it doesn't matter what the dark practice is, sacrificing because they think that that other soul can give them a bit more time and dump their karma on them. It's just benign. It is misguidance and misinformation, and most of these people don't understand what they're doing, and they're just sealing the fate of them remaining in the lower dimensional realms of hell. Because they've conjured themselves into the bindings by doing it on so many other people. This is their ultimate fate. And again, what you do to another, you do to yourself. These are, again, the quantum laws coming back and showing everybody. So it will be very important that in my life story, me sharing my story, me sharing the outcomes of these stories, and the cults and covens that have evolved, and the higher directives that have been directing these cults and covens. That's why I've said, go to the authorities. Don't come to me with your confessions. I don't want it. I don't care. I get my confessions. I get exactly what goes on with me from God. I don't need anybody else's confession. My predictions come from God. I tune in with God. I write and I channel every day. I write, I channel every day. This is what I do. This is my connection with God and spirit. This is what I do. Page 1, page 2, page 3. See, this is what I do. This is my work. This is me. This is what I do. This is my energy. That's what I do. So in that, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I know exactly what I'm doing. God will let me know what I need to know. If I don't need to know it, I won't know it. I get it. So I move on. I don't care about anybody else's confessions. There is one person that is meant to come towards me. There is one divine masculine that is approved to come towards me, and he is meant to give me his ideal of apology and asking for forgiveness and so on. There's only one, and it's nobody from the past. Because the past had been given 3 years to do their job of due diligence, to return what they stole, to make right on what they had done to me, to make right on the hundreds of, more than hundreds, it was about 1,600, I guess we're past 1,600 right now, rituals on my life, and selling my name back and forth so they can make money on me and exploit me in the underground. And whatever was done, they'll have to live with those deeds, and they'll have to alchemize every single deed that they've done against me. Everybody is forgiven. You're all forgiven in Calgary. Go about and live your happy life and try and escape your karma all you want. I don't want to talk to any of you. I don't need to talk to any of you. I don't want to talk to any of you. We're not buddies. We're not pals. Everybody from Calgary, you need to be assessed. You need to go into a psyche assessment, and you need to get assessed. Anything that has been done over the past 8 to 10 years, stealing, thieving, corrupting, sabotaging, tormenting me, torturing me, creating videos on it and obsessing over my energy to try and make something happen for yourself, trying to disregard me and keep me in poverty and never eat, and to have me swallowed whole by your demonic energies and entities. Anything that has been done, everybody needs to sit at the table and say, oh my gosh, is this for real? Is this the legacy that I'm going to choose for myself? And the fate of my children's energy that I'm going to leave them with karma. You actually have to think about what you do and why you do it. And is this really what you're choosing? Is this really the highest level of intelligence that I could choose for myself in this moment right now? Because again, how important is your soul's evolution? If you sleep with 8 people, you're taking on that potential of those 8 people and whoever they've slept with. Whatever intention they have for their physical vessel, you're choosing to take that on. The exchange of your life force is the most important exchange that you have as a being of light. So if you're a low vibrational being and you don't care about your body, and you're sleeping with people that don't care about their body, then that is what you're saying is okay for you. And if that's okay for you, there's no judgment. You don't care about the energy that you transfer. Therefore, then you got to be okay if you get an STD, because you didn't care enough. If you don't care about your vessel, you won't be given a healthy one. Why would you? You're not intending health. You're not intending care. You're not intending self-love. So why would you be given another lifetime? Everybody that practices the dark occults, warped masonry, witchery, and voodoo, where you're touching other people's lives, you think you have power over other people's lives, you think you play God over other people's lives, you fucking don't. And you better make sure that whatever you intend, it will come back to you and it will face you in a manifestation. And then you cannot complain about it, dear lighted ones. You deserve the karma you sit in. And I'm going to keep saying it. There are higher spiritual order laws. Everything that you intend is coming back to you. Therefore, stay in your own lane. You should only be intending goodwill for yourself. If you intend goodwill for yourself, you intend goodwill for all. Don't take anything from anybody. You don't need to. So your vessel is communicating with you at every moment. It's becoming a higher order of shifting omnipresence. Because remember, every day that you do your daily ascension pathwork and just living in the presence of you, harmonizing the inhale and the exhale with your highest version of you, you're becoming a higher version of your omnipotent, which means you're interacting with the omnipresent, the outer. The inner is the outer and the above is below. Therefore, that's then your body is telling you and communicating at higher vibrational capacity and aptitude. Your beliefs are what manifests through. So your perspectives, if you want to write this down, it comes your beliefs first. And this is why we always have to look at your beliefs every day. What do I believe to be true? Who am I? What do I exist within? Your beliefs, and then you put an arrow outwards. If you do a little circle on a page, and then in the center of that circle, you put beliefs. This is who I am as my godliness. And then you can draw an infinite number of arrows side of that circle. That becomes your perspectives. What are my perspectives on my environment? What are my perspectives on my mental abilities? What are my perspectives on my emotional? What are my perspectives on creational vocation that is aligned with all my gifts, my skills, my talents? So you can put an infinite number of arrows that circle in this aspect of what are my beliefs. And then all the little arrows on the outside say, what are my perspectives? The more pure and refined your beliefs are within the higher self of you, right? You're aligning with a higher version of you, a belief of a higher version of you, all of these perspectives shift. And as we've said before, and we've given you many understandings, this version of you that looks through a telescope up into the sky and it does stargazing, this version of you that's in a highest alignment and is in present and does daily path work and aligns daily with breath work and aligns daily with higher intentions and just allows source to manifest through them. There's no taking, there's no forcing, there's no manipulating. It's just the allowance of being God with godly. This version has the highest aspects. When it's stargazing, it can see into dimensions and star systems that a closed off version that only wants to believe in church and state, that only wants to believe in Scientology, that only wants to believe in bread can only be white, that only wants to believe in only men can speak powerful words, whatever these limited, small, misogynistic, bigotry beliefs are, whatever these small things are of discrimination, separation, of fear and control and domination. This will have a much higher sight because its versions of beliefs are much higher and wider. Therefore, the perspectives are much higher. It can perceive star systems that this one cannot because they're just on a different dimensional plane. And remember we said, what is dimension? Dimension is information and vibration. This one's operating at a higher vibration, so it's going to have greater scope. It's going to have greater perspective view. Your perspective on food, your perspective on nature, your perspective on the stars, your perspective on what you belong with, perspective on what belongs with you. So first it becomes your beliefs. Who are you? That's why I always say, know thyself. Who are you? What you exist within, what's going on within you. And then lots of little arrows on the outer, and you can do this every day as your path work. What are my perspectives today? What are my perspectives today? And that's when you become the dodecahedron, because you're taking in these perspectives. Say, well, that was great as a perspective yesterday. Boy, did I learn a lot yesterday. I'm going to handle it like this time. That's the churning. You're always churning. And I'm showing you how to do daily ascension path work. You're not going to negate these people. These perspectives are fine and real for where they're at in their dimension. Say, wow, I looked at that. I had really low perspectives. I didn't have very high perspectives here, but look at me now. This is why doing the pathwork and doing the journaling is so important, because you're proving to yourself that yes, you are a godly version and you're infinite. And your body is always communicating to you because you're becoming more omnipotent within the omnipresent. That's why we say presence is so important, because your presence aligns you with everything that is God, right? So it will show you, and remember we said you're going to see the correlation to the manifested reality. So you're going to see whatever is out, you're going to connect with it. Oh yeah, I get why I manifested that. Yesterday I was in that type of a mood because my intention was like this. You're not healing that wound of jealousy. You're not healing that wound of envy. Therefore, your intentions are going to be to get revenge on somebody, if you will. Therefore, you're going to manifest something that's going to show you in a negative way. Because when you're manifesting from a wounding, you're going to manifest negative karma. Right? If you're manifesting from this wounding, you're going to manifest a negative karma. So what else would you expect? You're not going to manifest a blessing. This is why, again, when we put it on the table and you mark down all dark occult practices, whether it's sacrificing voodoo, poking somebody with a voodoo doll, all of those things, that is from a wounding dark perspective. So how can you expect anything light to come of it? Again, if you're a practitioner doing these things, if you are a practitioner that teaches these things, you better absolutely know that it's coming back to you. And how could anybody take money? How could anybody take money to teach them how to do dark and negative, hurtful, harmful, killing things. How could anybody do this? And then think that you're going to be blessed, you're going to be aligned, and you're going to be leveled up, because you won't. There's no judgment. Do whatever you choose to do. But I'm telling you that you will never be ranked. You will never move up in ascension. And this is the last 3D timeline, which means that you will stay in the lower realms for eternity, because you haven't earned the consciousness to say, maybe I shouldn't be teaching people how to dream rape people. Maybe I shouldn't be teaching people how to harvest their sexual energy without their permission. Maybe I shouldn't be jacking off to somebody's picture when they've said no. Anything that you do to take energy from another, when they've told you no, stop. When they've told you no, stop. When they've told you no, stop. You are going against the universal laws, because God has given you somebody that is profoundly, intuitively aligned with Source Creator. And I've come to you 18 million times and I've said, stop. Stop with the sex magic. Stop with the magic. Stop using my images to jack off. There's only one divine masculine on this planet that has the right to do that. And he also knows that he's doing it for our soul growth, not to manifest stuff from, because he'll have that energy taken away as soon as he does so. And he knows that. That's being a wise divine masculine, because he's respecting my life force. He's not using my life force to manifest stuff from. And he's the only one that's been given that a permission. Nobody else is allowed to use my image for anything. Nobody. And this is where I've said, I am the Ark of the Covenant. Anybody that chooses to write my name in any negative manner to manifest stuff for their own self-gain, I've made no contracts. I've had no discussions about any of my work being used, being harvested. I've had no contracts. I've signed nothing. I've given no permissions. I have given no permissions on any level for my work to be used in any way. No pilfering, no using my content. Nobody's allowed to use my name. And if doing so, I am like the Ark of the Covenant, and that negative energy and that karma will come back to you immediately. Even if you speak negatively on my name, if you write my name negatively on my name, you do word magic, you put myself in a jar, whatever it is that you think you're doing to gain from me, you don't have permission. God has called a caveat. God has said enough is enough. Everybody's in quarantine. And if you choose to keep doing it and refusal to heed God's word, then you deserve the karma you will sit in. And that's when the Ark of the Covenant comes through and provides spell work and provides the equal return, because you've refused to heed the higher order. There is higher order. I am very sacred. You will not abuse my energy or my name or who I sit and how I sit, period. I'm commanding respect from this planetary collective. I've given my life over and over and over again for this collective, for this planet, to ascend into 5D. I am here for the multiverse, and there is no higher order. Anybody that chooses to use and abuse my name, my energy, and everything that I belong with, and every sacred experience that I have created from the pure devotion of who I am. Homeless, I have no resources and nothing, and I will still come forward and I will serve my highest and my best, because that's my purity of intention. I serve God. And you will choose to sit in your karma if you go against everything that we've been saying for years and years now. Leave me alone. Stay out of my lane. And if you choose to do any direct negative experiences and directives, you're choosing to direct any energy towards me that is a negative spell, writing on my name, selling it back and forth. And if you think in any audacity of anybody that thinks they own me, and you're going to sell me to another cult because you want to jack off and manifest stuff from me, and you want to see how much you can get on the black web for a hit on my spiritual name and my spiritual gifts, skills, and talents, you better bet you're going to come down hard, and it's going to be God's thumb right on your ass. And everybody's being shown right now. Everybody's being proven 100%. My predictions are 100. This is my soul story. This is what's happened to me. I'm going to share my story, and I'm going to teach everybody how to work with your own light, with your own fields. There's no reason to take anything outside of you. There never was, and there never will be. We need new laws to support, bring aid and protection for those that are being attacked on a daily basis by people that don't understand what they're doing and who they are. And some of these people, yes, do need to be investigated, because some of these cults and have been directed from higher order people, higher order officials, and it's not okay. It is not okay that the highest order of officials are directing low vibrational city communities to go and do direct human targeting and hit work, MK Ultra type of agendas. This has to be investigated. This has to be investigated globally, because these are global networks of hate and human targeting programs and agendas, and it's not okay. Because these are elites, these are officials that know better. And as God had given me a channel that I wrote on my YouTube page, there will be the harshest of consequences and karma to those that are in leadership positions and leadership country positions, and why I was tested and initiated with all global leaders. There will be the harshest of karma. Those that incite war and aggression into the communities and into the collectives and into the peoples. And this is why I've also stated from day one, anybody that is and knows about secret society abuses, cult and coven abuses, you make sure that you go to authorities and you give them your truth and your story. Not to get off, not to make sure that your path is going to be easier, but because everybody needs to be accountable for the part they have played. And higher official elites that get paid the top 5% of our incomes across all North American countries, it's not okay that these people of so-called high intelligence that are supposed to be leadership, protect both in the service of our own liberties, of human rights and human laws, it is not okay that these people are inciting, targeting, and aggression and violence, and getting secret cults and covens and warlocks and witches to do their dirty work, to keep light workers like myself distracted, preoccupied, derailed, and delayed, and harmed, and if taken out. And what are you going to tell the children? What are you going to tell the children? Who's going to talk to the children? Who's going to pick up the mess? Who's going to teach the children what could have happened? If we acted responsibly, what could have happened? If we acted in timeliness, what could have happened? Well, we could have had higher light wisdom understanding so that people understand how to work with their fields. Everybody's responsible for their chakras. Everybody's responsible for their fields. Everybody's responsible for doing a chakra conscious seal at the end of every night so that when they are in dream time, they're not going to get raped and taken vibrationally. They're not going to get raped vibrationally in their dreams. They're not going to have people like demonic people that go in and want to navigate and explore, taking advantage of people in dream time. And they're less likely to get lured into trafficking. They're less likely to get lured into community debauchery because they know who they are and they understand how to work with their fields and they understand that their alliance with light, their alliance with their higher self is everything. That's all I've needed is my alliance with my higher self. Doesn't matter how many people are coming at me. My alliance with my higher self, that is my compass, period. Nothing outside of me is my compass. No church and state is my compass. My higher self is my compass. My godliness is my compass. So why aren't we teaching the children this? Why are we allowing church and state to suppress who we are as divine beings and there's no higher vibrational light wisdom teaching? So my specific case of discrimination, my specific case of human targeting, it will be an example. We need higher vibrational light wisdom teachings and laws that will protect everybody and understand that when you intend something, that is when your karma begins. And your body is going to tell you what feels right and what doesn't feel right. So heed it and listen to it. And be very mature and responsible and take pride and celebration that you're doing this. When you're choosing to explore who you are as a multidimensional being, divine feminine energy, divine masculine, we talked about it, go look at my trans video. We want to make sure that you're honoring what you're feeling in regards to sexual preferences and sexual explorations and things like that. We want it to be a sacred experience for yourself. If you're having these experiences where you're having those energy flows of divine feminine, divine masculine in the sexual orientation, be responsible and be mature, right? Obviously, yes, you're all of age. Obviously, yes, you're having a mature conversation. Obviously, yes, you have your medical background and you're all being on the up and up. These are responsible, mature things that everybody has to do, and understand that you're going to have those moments where your soul wants to express itself in divine feminine, divine masculine energies of attraction. And that's just normal. You're not going to be a fully soul-infused being if you're not going to have those moments of attraction with the same sex. You're going to have those attractions. How you choose to move about it and act on it will be the outcome and intention, right? But it's okay to have those moments of similar attraction. You have to have those moments of attraction to heal and to be fully aware of your flow as we move into androgyny, right? You're going to be a fully androgynous being. And then there are those that have moved through so much healing and we've moved through so much trying to, you'll always know that, for instance, for me, I've always known that I'm very attracted as a heterosexual sexual preference experience. I find divine feminine attractive, yes, but as far as a sexual experience, I'm absolutely heterosexual. I love to be in those experiences of sacred co-creation with a man. And so that I've always known that. That's always been a very key sexual desire I want a man that is virile. I want a man that knows who he is as a divine masculine. So that allows me to be my full goddesshood. But that's always been something I've always known. There's never been any delay or any sway of being attracted to women. I'm not. I never have been. So it's a matter of, again, know thyself, right? And just know that there's always higher order for how and what you feel and why you go through what you go through, right? And you don't need to prove it or tell anybody, but I'm just giving you the higher vibrational experience of how we've misunderstood trans, how we've misunderstood the energy that flows through our body, allowing ourselves to be divine, feminine, masculine at any moment, the more versatile that you can be in the flow, because again, your body is showing you and telling you because you're becoming more omnipresent. And this will help you also understand trans. Your trans is the energy that goes back through the axional lines. And some people come with a very balanced, very open, and very fluid movement of energy back and forth. And that's what they showed me in the vision that I had in that video that I called trans. So go and watch that video. They showed me the axional lines of the body and the movement of energy between divine feminine, divine masculine. It's already very operative in those beings that experience themselves as transgender or trans. If transsexual just means who you're sexually exploring yourself. So again, we wanted to take the body out of it, because sometimes the body limits us because of the social expectations that are projected at us. And so we're going to go into it probably another video because it's a very complex issue, but I'm very excited to bring forward higher vibrational teachings in that. So remember, again, perspective spawn from your beliefs. So the higher consciousness you are in your beliefs that you are the all is you, and that you have access to the higher vibrational thoughts, wisdoms, and paradigms, then your higher vibrational beliefs are going to give you higher vibrational perspectives so that you are the all. So there's, again, we want to get you into more flowing with allness. Can you wonder and can you ponder and imagine as the sacred child in the delights that your creational reality can be a romantic exchange, can be a romantic engagement? Every moment of life is a romantic engagement between you and the omnipresent. You are the God self and the God self is you. So the God self is always looking to engage with you romantically. Who are you today? How may we move in fluid of love and benevolence of our body, of our mind, of our spirit, and our soul? And know that when you're emanating that energy out to creation, when you're having this romantic play, as we gave you that image earlier, that you are always in play, a stage play. You can be the antagonist one moment, you can be the protagonist, you can be the main character. Sometimes you can take the back seat. So you're always in romantic play with creation. So soften your perspectives and your beliefs. Soften the ability to see your everyday manifesting as something new. And we do that by the sacred child, right? How may Source Creator show me? Ask yourself these questions as you're playing with Source Creator. How connected am I with Source? In how many ways today can I be shown that I'm connected with Source? Like this morning I went on a walk and I was thinking about the color fuchsia. It's kind of like this color right here, fuchsia. And I saw this beautiful, I posted it on my YouTube board, this beautiful jewelry watch that was being put together by, I think it was Dior. And that color fuchsia was in it. And then when I went for my walk this morning, this beautiful hummingbird that was green and emerald green, and it had fuchsia on its cheeks. Right, and I've got a little hummingbird, and it had fuchsia on its cheeks, and I was just watching it. It was like about this far away from me, and it was sucking on the flowers that I had walked by, and I said, "Oh my gosh, there's that beautiful color fuchsia." And it was right on the cheek of the hummingbird. And so I thought, "Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful." But I was wanting to have a grander, expansive play with Source. So expansiveness means you intend an engagement of expansiveness. So how can Source dance with me today? You can ask closed questions or open questions. Open questions get you more expansiveness. So write that down. That's important. Your daily Ascension path work. Open questions allows you more free play with Source. How many infinite ways am I connected with Source today through nature? That's an open question. You're going to get infinite answers. See the color fuchsia today in is all the ways that Source can show me. How am I dancing with Source today that allows me to feel sexually balanced and healed, right? So ask those questions that allow infinite answers and opportunity for Source to flow through you and with you, and then just watch the unfolding of the day. how things are unfolding in your peripheral. Are there stories in the peripheral that you're hearing or overhearing that are helping you assist with the healing of the sexual energies, if you will? And all of those things, just allowing yourself to be more full and to be more whole. Remember, there's no judgment on any of it. But just know, if you're intending and you don't care about who you're sleeping with, then you can't imagine and you can't expect a higher outcome for your body and vessel sexually. If you're getting together with people to sexually do rituals and manifest off others' life forces and use it irresponsibly, then you cannot expect a high vibrational outcome. Again, intention is outcome. And that's what we're seeing right now. This is where the collective creator consciousness codes are going to show you the correlation in your reality. Your reality is your correlation to your intention, period. So that's why it's vitally important. Do you care for your body? How can you love your body? How can you allow those to be around you to be with intention of the highest vibrational tribe? I'm asking the highest vibrational tribe because we want all of us to intend that every day we bring our best. Every day we're going to expand our highest and our best. Don't have it as one person's responsibility, because it's not. Each of you have to bring your best to the table. And then again, be okay to set new rules of engagement, new rules of standard. No, I'm not going to partake in this anymore. It's not healthy for my energy. I've get nothing in return, but everybody's taking from me. How's that okay? Like in my life story, in my case, there's 50 people, more than that, throughout my lifetime that were taking and harvesting from me and doing hexes and spells and making sure that I became nothing so that they could harvest and make as much money off me as possible and trade me. How's that okay? That's illegal. It's enslavement. So every one of these 50 people have to look and put down on the table, what part did they play? Selling, trafficking, bidding, suppressing, hexing, cursing, taking from me, the effects it had on me and my children that I'll never get back. I'll never get the time back that I've been isolated from my children. I'll never get the time back that I've been 5.5 years homeless, and the trauma and the PTSD that comes with daily transmuting, daily hate, daily jealousy, daily envy, daily evil eye. I've carried an entire collective worth of hate magic. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about the transmutating. Nobody cares about what I do in a daily experience to transmute other people's hate. And this is where my conversation with Source Creator is so imperative, because Source, I tell Source, I said, I'm a higher vibrational master spirit. I'm not being used as the efficiency that I'm using. I'm not healing the children I should be getting to. I haven't touched any of the children that I should be allowing them to seek into their higher godly self. My energy is not even touching any of these children because I'm distracted with all these cults and covens that are trying to do everything they can to take me off path and trying to kill me. So I said that everybody has until today, and there are no windows. The windows are closed. The timelines are closed. Pull every one of these people out. I will no longer support their energy. They will no longer have access to me. They are quarantined from the rest of eternity. Nobody has access to benefit off of my energy any further. And that is to their detriment right now, because now they're finding that everything is coming down negative, backwards, and sideways, because my energy is nowhere to be found for them. They have no sight. Their gifts and skills are being ripped and stripped from them. They were told infinite times, and they will experience the karma that they chose to continually come at me. Because they don't have the right. Nobody does. Nobody has the right to put somebody's name on a piece of paper and marry them to a cult or coven leader. Like, who the hell? Who does that? And how is that okay? These are illegal practices. So you need to speak about it in your community. You're not allowed to put anybody's name on a piece of paper and think that you can sacrifice them or put them on an insurance scam and then go and do death spells on them and sacrifices on them and car crashes on them. They go and take themselves out through the manifestations of your intention and your voodoo and your conjuring and your forcing and your impaling, and then you go and cash in on an insurance claim. Or you go and sell them to another cult or coven so that they can do extra, manifesting off of them. So this is an invisible, underground, unseen, pyramid, black web experience where there's names and there's RICO charges and there's RICO things going back and forth to these cult and coven people, and they're making all the money. These elite harvesters, they're making all of the money off the star seeds and the light workers. And these star seeds and light workers are doing everything we can to keep our vibrations the highest, because our vibrations affect all reality. How's that okay? And we walk around and we're not eating. We don't have a home. We don't have any safety. We have nobody protecting us. We have nobody reaching out for us. We have nobody supporting us. There aren't any laws to support us. And nobody believes us unless there's proof. Well, because all these people do everything behind the closed doors. I'm God's messenger now. All my predictions are from God now. And now everybody's finding out God is very real. Keep coming at me and see what happens. There are changes on our planet. We will ascend. And nobody has the right to do dark occult practices because you want to make a bunch of money in the underground because you don't understand who you are. And you're working off really old, 3,000-year-old old voodoo that doesn't make any sense anymore because we're going into 5D and all you do affects everybody else and it's coming right back at you. So you better know what you're doing. Again, if you don't know the laws, you shouldn't be practicing magic. If you don't know higher order laws, you shouldn't be practicing magic. If you don't know anything about alchemy, you should not be practicing magic. Your karma begins with your intention, and you have no right to touch anybody else's life. Leave the children alone. Leave the light workers alone. Leave the star seeds alone. And if there are agendas, government agendas, that incite aggression, sabotage, destruction, demolishing of star seeds, like myself, I'm an enhanced human, I'm an ultra human, and this was made this way. The Mother and the Father and the legions of light and the celestial and the galactic communities had to fix a lot of what was done to me on the human earth terms. Everything that the humans have done to me, the celestials have had to fix. Because there were so many just ignorant things that were done. But they wanted to test and they wanted to create Ultra-Human Project Stargate. They all know what they did. They all know who I am. Everybody that is involved in my case, every single one of them know who I am. They have knowledge of the monies that are in my name, that are in a different birth name, that are in a different birth date, and all of these people know, but they've refused to allow me to be a part of my own story because they're making far more money. They don't want to be known for the karma that they've created. They don't want to be known for the deeds that they have done. They don't want to be known for the direction of hits on my life to make sure that my life was as fucked as possible so that I never find out who I am, so that I never arise to who I am. And I say, my God, I'm a messenger for God. Do you not think I know? I will choose my own name. Come forward or don't, your karma is still 10 times. Because you chose, when you could have done something right, you chose not to. When you chose that you could have been a good leader, you chose not to. When you chose to be a leader for the people and the greater good and the justices of the liberties of what is a human rights law, you chose not to. You chose to continue the inciting of danger on my life, the inciting of separation, the inciting of false accusations about my craziness when everybody knows that I am a fucking genius. And who the hell is anybody to say who I am and do a power of attorney on me and not even include me in the fucking conversation? How dare you? And that's why they know that there is so much evidence about how unconscionable what has gone on in my life. And I'm coming forward and I'm going to speak about it because we need new laws. We need better leaders that will actually be leaders and support the liberties of human rights. These are the very fabrics of the soils we walk on. Who is it to anybody to say that I cannot be who I can be and I cannot speak a higher version of God? Who is it? Who is it that says this? What say ye? And YouTube for taking money, how dare you and how shame on you? I'm going to see you in court, YouTube, and I ain't going to settle. We're going to pull every single one of these experiences and it's going to be pulled out because nobody has a right to do what was done to me. It's unconscionable. It was the human Hunger Games and these secret societies and cults in every little city upon our planet and in North America. And the people that do voodoo and magic all the way to support these little groups and cults and covens. It's illegal. It's dark practice. They are illegal criminal acts. Speak out about it. It's not okay. It's not okay. Understand energy, understand your chakra system, understand that you are a version and the image of Mother, Father, God. You don't need anything outside of you. It's time to grow up. It's time to take accountability. It's time to take responsibility of who you are as godliness. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with who you are as light. You are a multidimensional being. You are a multivibrational being. You are crystalline and you are carbon, which means that you have matter, which is density, and you also have light, the essence of spirit. Spirit is the only quickener. Spirit is the only thing that will activate your intelligence, period. Spirit is the only thing that activates your DNA activations, period. And what is spirit? Essence, breath, intention, light. We're very basic here, dear lighted ones. Who are you? Do you choose eternal life, yes or no? Do you choose the highest level of intelligence, yes or no? What is the highest level of intelligence, dear lighted ones? It's light. Can you find the joy and sacredness of all moments? Can you wonder and ponder about nature? Can you wonder and ponder about how much Creator is interacting and engaging with you in every moment if you so choose? Can you wonder and ponder about the star systems that you belong with? Seek expansive, open questions with Source Creator and watch Source Creator dazzle and delight you. This is connection, dear lighted ones. This is engagement. This is the essence of vibration. This is why I am felt, because that is the essence of spirit. Spirit can feel you. Spirit wants to be engaging with you. Don't you want to be engaging with spirit, or do you want to be closed off and disconnected? Closed off and disconnected means that you're saying there's no light getting in. I am not allowing the flow of light. And then see what happens to the body. Your intention is outcome. Your intention is outcome. Your intention is outcome. Positive, neutral, negative, you decide. We're giving you higher order laws here, Dalai Lama. There's no other way. This is the quantum effect. The omnipresent is constantly showing you. There is a correlation there if you see it. Sit down and be present with it. Constantly showing you, dear lighted ones. Consciousness creator codes. You can see, as we briefly mentioned, that each are infusing the new codes of where you have been cosmically, celestially, alien, ancient-wise of your earth realms. So again, the consciousness codes is everything that you are celestial, alien, galactic, and your earth timelines. And it's all coming into a now churning. And this is why when you're doing the daily clearing and cleansing, and you're harmonizing these lower soul fragments and these lower soul aspects, you're moving up into that higher experience, which I gave you an example as my last my Thoth experience that they gave me, that higher vibrational Thoth experience, and I was brought back to Egypt, and they were giving me these many visions of the temple work in Egypt that I was doing, and it allows you the higher pathways to give yourself higher education of the light wisdom, because that is the highest level of education is light wisdom. There is nothing higher. And light wisdom is who we are as Metatronic light, and the Metatronic light systems the omnipresent of what source is, what God is, the creator of all life. Remember, science is not the creator of life. God is the creator of life, and we wrap God around science. And the more that we become godly, science changes. We will affect mass. We will affect gravity. We will affect density. We will affect all things that is written in science. Science doesn't affect godliness. Godliness affects science. So as we become greater light, as we oscillate in greater light, as we oscillate in greater consciousness, we are affecting science. We can allow ourselves to levitate. We can allow ourselves to teleport. We are affecting science. We are affecting the star systems that we see because our consciousness is saying, I have a higher perspective, right? Remember, beliefs, perspectives, that is outcome. Higher perspectives, higher outcome. I can see that planetary system. I can know that I can teleport. I can remember that I can levitate. Those are choosing higher perspective with intention. I choose to be higher intentional. I choose to be higher aligned. I choose to be higher intentional. I choose to be higher health. I shinamakata tike e ne namaate e sianamakata tike alana maate te e na maa. E tike shianama la e naka te shianama la 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 tike na 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 te ke shianana. Create the light language, create the songs, create the dance, create the creativity, create the sacred joy, create the sacred child that's going to allow you to get in that vibration of play, of sacredness, of fun, of joy, of playing and engaging with God and creation in different ways. Can you be playful and romantic with creation? Yes, of course we can. So what does that feel like? We want to get to this here because there's so much of the collective right now because you're just moving into different consciousness experiences, and we want to entrain you into higher vibrational entrainment. Higher vibrational entrainment is picking a vibration and then going there, getting yourself there. So however you have to do that, by getting up and doing a couple of jumping jacks, going out into nature, getting yourself into a happy vibration, and then seeking that vibration of alignment that you choose, i.e. excitement. I'm really excited. I want to engage playfully. What does playful feel like? Are you playful throughout your day? How do you get to that playful vibration? How do you get to that romantic vibration? How do you get to that vibration of being present? So this is what doing the work is. This is what spiritual becoming is. When you say that you're spiritual, are you practicing being spiritual? Do you understand that there's an infinite number of vibrations that God is? Do you practice that? Can you practice that? Your 3 E's. Can I practice being in the 3 E's of joy today? What are my explorations of joy? What are my expressions of joy? What are my experiences of joy? That's doing the path work. And as you do this every day, you see yourself quantumly becoming more and more engaged as source creator omnipresent. You become more visionary with it. You become more loving with it. You become more sacred with it because it's you. You're intending with consciousness creator codes. I am choosing to be a conscious creator God. I can choose to be romantic with creation today. Dear Holy Creator, can you show me the most highest vibrational romantic connection I have with flowers? What is my romantic connection with flowers? And bring those energies in through you. You are the vessel of creation. That is what is living as the creator, the image of. If there is a vibration, the image of creator can give it to you and offer it to you and through you and for you. That's being the image of. You're a representation of the heavens. Why not? Why not, dear lighted ones? If you want to be joyful and laughing all day long, why not? If you want to see yourself and laugh your body into health and healing, why not? You choose it, you're a creator God, why not? You want to choose yourself into a new level of artistry. Make no doubt, make no mistake about it. Each and every one of you on the line right now, we are giving this to you as a prediction. In the next 6 months, you will find yourself and your artistry go into a whole new level of creatorhood. Do you choose to claim that, yes or no? Say it out loud. I choose to claim my new creatorhood of creative art crafts and craftsmanship. I choose to be in a new level of craftsmanship in the next 6 months. Dear divine source creator, show me how I may flow romantically into a new creative artistry, craftsmanship. How may I craft and design myself as a new creator God? Show me the way, Spirit. Show me the way, dear higher self. Show me every day. Every day I will connect with engagement, with intention. My intention is to become romantic with my creative gifts. I'm going to love my creative gifts. I'm going to honor my creative gifts. I'm going to be grateful for my creative gifts. And this is why we wanted to say, before our time runs out, we wanted to say that in the next coming year, there's going to be a huge and profound shift in the creative arts in entertainment field. We're going to get away from the word industry because it's not an industry. We are a field of operators of creative geniuses. And this is why there's been such a lag and a stagnancy and a lull in the music and movie industries. Because it's been run as an industry. So much corruption in all of it, selling their souls to be famous and selling their souls to be this, this, and this, and using other people's energies. And there's a lot of karma being played out right now from the people that have been abusing energy. People that have been abusing with intention, whether it's a talent agency that have been abusing intentions, whether it's drawing up, incorrect contracts that serve other people more than it serves the talent. All of those things are ways that you can look at intention and rewrite it. It has to be. Because we are a field of co-creators of godliness. You cannot operate in godliness if you're still operating from corrupt intentions. There's a mismatch, and you're going to be forced to rewrite in a higher vibrational light code. This is why we're talking about consciousness codes. What are your consciousness codes? I am consciously aware that my contract will be one of intention that we will both benefit. That there will be no scamming from either party, that if it's your talent, did you get paid for your talent? And that will be in my contract. I will offer that to you and I will honor that in you. Those are higher vibrational contracts where it's benevolent and benefiting of both parties. There's no hidden factors. There's no little fine print. There's no people scamming. There's no talent agencies that are doing harvesting and selling organs. There's none of that. No more corruption, dear lighted ones. You have to state with intention, there will be no more corruption. When the person walks up on stage to get that trophy, they have earned that trophy because it's their craft. And they have proven through their hard work, skills, and devotion that they've earned the credit and the credibility of that trophy, of that gift, of that award, of that reward. That hasn't been the way in the past. Oftentimes, those that are getting the awards have been the ones that have been placating and being a part of the agendas and the games and the schemes that are going along with it. A lot of these underground experiences of elitism and elite harvesting and all the things that have gone along and abusing of the innocent, while the innocent are absolutely living in less than party. And they're getting no credit for their work. They're getting no credit for their energy. They're getting no credit for their divine content that is only given through them, by them. I haven't received anything from anybody by anybody. And yet there's nobody that offers the information and wisdoms and codes that I do. How is that? When I upload a video, over 75% of the views go to somewhere else. Where are they going? YouTube corruption, I'm going to call you out and I will not settle. And how is it a $450 billion company takes money from private sectors to silence me and shut me up? And who the hell are you? And who the hell is anybody create false documentation of false POAs because they want my money, they want the inheritances, they want to say that they have greater say over my life than me. They don't even know me, they've never met me. I'm by myself 98% of the time. I live a hermit lifetime devoted to God. I don't even live in the same province that any of these people that say they have say over my life because they want access to my monies. They want access to who I am as a spiritually ranked being because they've been living a high off my ranking. Because they've been doing dark occult practices to manipulate, thwart, and destiny swap and harvest and siphon and suck the fucking life out of me while they sit back and do harmful things to children. They do harmful things to their community. They do harmful things in their fake-ass churches. They don't know. They're not connected with God on any level in any way. Even when they're told to stop, they don't stop. They're still going to go and make false accusations. They're still going to go and make false paperwork. They're still going to go and make false things and say they have a higher say of knowing than me over my life. How do you don't even know me? I haven't talked with you. I don't know you. I haven't given you any signatures. I don't know who the hell you are. So how are you able to say that you know me? You don't know shit about me. Making up false claims like I'm some porn girl and I'm some druggie. I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I haven't had sex and sexual relations in 14 years, going on 15. I've been celibate. I know what goes in and out of my body. I don't eat more than I eat. I don't sleep more than I sleep. Because there's been so many people pressing their energy on my life, thinking that they have access to me and they own me and they entitled to me because they want. They're greedy, no sense of self. All they care about is their own taking, their own raping, their own getting, their own running out of karma. They're not accountable. They have no idea who they are, and they've made my life a weighted mess of lies and accusations that has nothing to do with who I am. And everybody gonna see it. God gonna lift me. God gonna lift me. God gonna lift me. I am Ra. And there's nobody that can take anything of that from me because I've earned it through generations and eons of being light and being aligned. And there is nobody that can come before me and say, this is who I am, and this is who I will be, and this is who I'm entitled to, and I will swap you here, here, and here. And I'm going to own you on this and this and this, and I'm going to have a POA on this, this, and this. Nobody on this planet, nobody anywhere, in any realm, in any dimension has a say over my body or my rights or my energy or my spirit. Make no mistake about that. I belong with God and God only. That is my sacred trinity, and no such energy or entity shall ever touch me. You cannot take me, you cannot swap me, you cannot manifest off of me. And if you do, you'll have negative karma. I am the Ark of the Covenant. Make no mistake about that. That's who I am. I claim that. That is my ranking. I am of the sky, dear lighted ones. And I have been here embedded in the oceans and in the mountains, and I've been embedded in the sacred temples. Make no mistake about that. I'm coming back to life. You don't need to know who I am. You'll know who I am when it's readied by God himself. He self, she self. The oneness of who we are. And our song will ripple through all creation because when we said, leave me alone, we said, leave me alone, let me be. Because I got stuff to do here. And that stuff is creational. And that stuff is codes. And that stuff is bringing new life to life. Why? Because I am the turning of life. I'm the seed of life. I'm the water of life. I'm the soil of life. And if that bothers you, then step aside. I'm not asking you to approve of it. I don't need approval from anybody, dear lighted ones. I'm sick of fighting for my voice and my rights to be me. Why can't I be me? I was a genius the day I was born. And they did everything in their power to suppress me and put hexes and curses on every chakra system by the 1500, 1600. Right now, I was working at 1600 rituals on my life like anybody has a right to say who I am and what I'm going to be. What's going to come out of me, it's going to be godly. The liberation of my soul, dear lighted ones. I am divine feminine. I've been in every temple on this planet. I come from the heavens, and I'm a celestial being of all kinds. And my codes are working very highly at this point. And every day I'm going to activate more and more of who I am. And there will be nobody that will suppress me and squash me and make me small or tiny, because it's God's plan that I be everything that I can be. Because this is my time. And this was prophesized. And it matters not if you believe it. We don't care. We care about this divine being before you. And she's going to spread her wings and she will fly, butterfly, fly. Because when she flies, she sets all creation on fire. And there's nothing needed more now than her voice and her songs and her tones. And she's going to lift and she's going to liberate it all. And it's required and it's needed. And that is the Divine Father's plan, and you're not needing to know of any of it except your own plan with God. You don't need to know of anybody else's plan but your own. So stay out of people's business, because it ain't your business. It ain't your business to know who she is. It ain't your business to know what her potentials are. It ain't your business to put her on a watch list. Who are you? It ain't your business to impale her with hundreds and hundreds of hexes and codes and taking everything from her so that she have nothing left. And she's barely walking and she's dizzy because they ain't had any food inside of her. And who the hell are you? And how different is this of your discrimination of the Christ? Same discriminations, dear lighted ones. She's in a female body this time. And she's come for the divine feminine voice and for the children and for the oceans and for the gardens and for the seeds and for the flowers. She's come for life itself. Why? Because she is life itself. But that's between her and God. It isn't between you. It has nothing to do with you. You want to come for inspiration. You want to come for codes. You want to come for enhancements. That's fine and well. Go out and do your thing and go out and create and be your highest and your best. For that's what messengers do. We bring higher order, dear lighted ones. We say these are the truths. Tap in and align, yes or no. It's your free will. You're going to be where you're going to be. Your intentions will place you exactly where you're going to be, and it's going to be your return. How can you expect anything different? So we're telling you right now, dear lighted ones, this being before you will be anything that she chooses to be, and she's going to be free, and she will always be free. There will be nobody that will bind her. There will be nobody that will hex her, and make sure you absolutely know what's got you if you choose to do so. Say so, write so, intend so, POA so. She will not be placed on any government watch list, and if she is, it's your direct karma, and it's coming back tenfold, because we've told you from day one, you will leave her alone, and you will give her her birthright documents that she deserves, because she is owed it. She is owed money in her name, because she is owed it. She has inherited money that she is owed, and she is owed it. She is owed the respect of her peoples, that she has taken, transmuted energies that nobody else could and wouldn't, ever would dare to. She has survived what most couldn't and wouldn't. And her credit will be given. Her work is her work. Belongs to none. No permissions have been ever given. No signatures have been ever given. So make no mistake, anybody speaking on her name doesn't have any idea and no clue. And be sure you're writing what you're writing, because it's coming back. And there are no more warnings. There are no more heedings. This is it, dear lighted ones. We've given you enough and ample opportunity to make right and do right. Take your confessions to the authorities. Those that are directing anger and violence unto any, make sure it's known that it's coming back to you and it is your negative karma. And make sure that you take those confessions to authorities, because nobody has a right to incite harm, will, or violence on anybody just because they want a selfish agenda in their order or their narrative, because they're getting paid under the table to make a light person go away. And then we ask you one more time, what sense does this make, dear lighted ones, and what's the extinction factor in that? If you're taking out all the light workers and you're taking out all the children that are here to make sure that karma never has to be paid again, the children are doing you a favor by transmuting your darkness. And what benefit does it make, and what intelligence is it if you're trading and trafficking and selling and sacrificing children and then dumping them in the ocean? What benefit does that make you, dear lighted ones? What benefit is it when you traffic and you sell all the children for organs and sex toys? What benefit does it play of you, that, dear lighted ones? And are you moving yourselves into extinction? The cattle herd into extinction. You see it over the place, and yet you don't question it. What sense does it make when you do such egregious acts of extinction to the most precious that are here to save you? That is the extinction factor, and your leaders know about it. And then they go and create MK Ultra programs to make it even more harmful and even more damaging and even more impossible for one innocent divine feminine lightworker that doesn't have a penny to her name. And she's managed to get up every day and transmute your shit. Audacity to say that you own her and she owes you something, you will be sat down by the heaviest karma, make no mistake about that. And you deserve it. For there is such wounding inside of you that ever thinks that a divine feminine will ever be categorized as your property. And she will never bow to you, because it's disrespect on every level, and how dare you? We must get this very clearly, dear lighted ones. Your intention is everything, and if you choose to intend degrading, disrespectful, harmful, warping, degrading, imbalanced, misogynistic, bigoted, hateful energy, if that is your intention, you will never, ever be ranked, and you will never, ever be blessed. To live a blessed life begins within. And being hateful is not blessed, is it? Inciting extinction agendas is not blessed, is it? Inciting snuff videos and exploitation of trafficking is not blessed, is it? Therefore, thus, then, how could you expect it? There has been programs in these very questions, dear lighted ones, that these are egregious programs and agendas. They are brainwashing agendas, because if it was not brainwashing, these common sense questions that I'm asking would be very easily answered. And yet there are societies and there are people that are so overrun by their demons and their entities and brainwashing that they still think it's okay to harm and hurt people and to sacrifice them and take them out any way possible, as long as they win. That's how you know that there are egregious programs that have been directed and intended through brainwashing and mind scraping. Mind scraping is the word that Source gave me, and these have to be investigated. These secret societies and cults that are being directed from higher order government, higher order elite programs, higher order elite businesses, these have to be investigated, because the top dogs will absolutely meet their karma. For every penny that they are paying to silence, to suppress, to attack, target, and sabotage a light worker that is here to save humanity. And again, what sense does it make it if you are all extinct? And then in the heavens you should all look back. Most will be in the underground and most will be in the dark web. Most of them will be in the dark sludge and the mud, because they wouldn't have a common courtesy to create consciousness higher than that. And they would say, wow, it wasn't necessary, was it? All we had to do was heal. What sense does it make to take everybody out? What sense does it make to traffic the children that are the only light keepers here on the planet? What sense does it make to do all the things that we've been doing? Are you asking yourselves every time that you do something, dear lighted ones, because your intention is your reality and it's coming back quick and you have no other complaint other than what you intend? These are the quantum laws, and church and state won't save you. We need higher light wisdom teachings on this planet so that every child knows their body and their chakras and their light, because they will not be taken advantage of, they will not be trafficked or sold, and their organs will stay in their bodies. And if you have a problem with that, perhaps you go get healed and you have a psyche assessment, because you don't deserve to run a trafficking ring to take other people's body parts and other people's energy and then exploit it and then make money off of it because you think it's all fun and games in your Hunger Games situations. It isn't, and your karma's going to hit you 100-fold. I'm calling judgment on every single one of those harvesting rings, trafficking rings, organ rings. I'm calling judgment, 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 judgment. Why? Because my light is piercing into it, and it's abhorrent. How dare we treat human sacred life? We are in the image of the heavens, dear lighted ones. How dare we? This is how disconnected and this is how inhumane, this is how absolutely disconnected we have become, to think that any of this has been normalized. Every ring that makes money off trafficking humans in any way, be it energy, be it spiritual ranking, be it organs, absolutely it's coming down. And how can you expect that you will receive anything different than what you have intended? It's coming at you. Corruption is done on this planet. This is my garden now. And these weeds are being pulled. This is my authority. New seeds of life are going into these soils. This is a new garden, dear lighted ones. We will not disrespect sacred life. Choose to be a part of New Earth Star, and we will respect all life. We are the seeds and the soils and the nurturance of it. Are we not? Yes or no? Are you a part of the all? Yes or no? Are you a higher light intelligent? Yes or no? Do you care about the seeds that you sow? Yes or no? The seeds that you sow are what? Intentions, dear lighted ones. And what would you get back? This is my garden now, and it deserves respect. All aspects of life are real and true as God itself, the Mother and the Father, and the holiness of all creation. We are the renewal of all essence of spirit. Dear lighted ones, celebrate and sing and dance upon these soils, for it is new.
And we will ring through creation, and these waves of light will be seen across all nations, across all worlds, across all universes. Why? Because I intend it. I intend the song and the dance to be within the soil so that every life is lifted. Every aspect of life is lifted. Every speck of water is lifted. Every aspect of air is lifted, and there will be no chemtrails in the atmosphere. And every child will go to bed with a full tummy, and they will not be touched. This is my intention of my new earth. And I, star, shine forward, and I glow, and I will not be anything less than the glowing star of all that is, for I am Ra. I am the shining one. I arise every day, and I nourish the fields, and I cultivate, and I excavate. That's what I do. I answer to none but Mother, Father. I answer none but to creation. I serve the councils of light. I serve creation. I serve creation. I serve creation. This is my contract. I'm here for the greater good of all. And dear lighted ones, make no mistake about it, I am the wave. And you get in my way and you will be taken. Because you cannot box a wave, you cannot box the sun. And I'm going to keep going up every day. I will show up and I will get up. That's my right. And that's my universal right now for everyone told. I haven't been given any return on anything, so you better get out your papers and your legal contracts, because everybody will be taken to court, all 50 of you. And I will be suing everybody for defamation, and I'll be suing everybody for everything that they've stolen, taken, and raped from me. And I will be suing everybody for the defamation and the sabotage of every day that I've had to go in derailment and delaying and homelessness and isolation from my children that I will never get back. And I've had to heal my own PTSD, and I've had to carry the weight of thousands and thousands of curses and hexes of hate. Your hate is not my problem, dear lighted ones, but I transmuted it anyways, because I love Gaia. And because the voices of the children deserve to be heard, because they are sacred seed, and those that abuse them are not. And you will be moved. You will not get away with it. You will not run away or pay out of your karma. You will sit exactly where you sit until you transmute it. And most of you have chosen not to do anything about the deeds you have done against me. Therefore, thus then, let the cards fall. And good luck with that. And so the soul's blueprint, remember, when you're aligning with your highest self, when you're aligning with the highest self's version of who you are, and you connect with Mother, Father, God, and you connect with who you are, and every day you say, my intention is to connect with my highest self every day, every day, every day, every day. You're connecting with the highest version of your blueprint, and you're giving your access to your DNA to the highest codes. I give myself the highest intentional practices that I am today, Mother, Father. I'm connected with you. I'm giving myself higher engagement. I will be romantic with creation. I will be gentle with creation. I will be harmonized with creation. I'll be sacred with creation. I choose to be the highest version of me today. I choose to be the highest light version of me today. Today I will heal my body. Today I will clear my fields. Today I will ground into the Gaia. Today I will know about my soul's blueprint in whatever way God wants me to know about it. Remember, the ego doesn't have to know everything all at once. Allow God to be romantic with you and to unfold it in easy, loving, caring, divine, and honoring, nature view ways. Remember, the natural order is the highest order that we can allow. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to do magic. You don't have to do spells. Let the natural order take care of it. God knows who you are. If you're aligned with self, natural order is all you need. Why force it? If you're forcing anything, you're not in alignment. You never have to force a divine soul partnership or union. Never. If you are spending obsessive time on a soul partner, if you are trying to obsess and make something happen with a soul partner, if you are trying to make and obsess something happen with a soul union, whether it be a twin flame or a partner or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you are not aligned. Divine soul relationships are natural order flowing relationships. You will naturally be attracted to them. You will naturally be magnetized to them. You will naturally want to invite them in and have ideas with them. You will naturally see them in your dreams. You will naturally see them unfold in your reality. You will naturally see their videos come across your scrolling panel. You will naturally see their name heard when you're out and about. You will naturally see all that is coming into union. That is the natural order of creation. Trust in source. Trust in the omnipresent. If you are meant to be with somebody, it will naturally unfold. You never, ever have to do any forcing, any manipulation, any making, any scheming, any scamming, any manipulation, any cloaking, any sex spells, any obsessive spells, any suffocating of anybody's spells to have them binded to you, because you just must have them with you, because you're so insecure, because you're so wounded, because you're not healing your abandonment issues, that you've put all of this energy and all of these energies into one person that is never meant to be with you. Again, if you're doing magic on anybody to get them to be with you, you are wounded. Deal with your wounds, because whether that person comes to be with you for the duration of that spell, you're still going to have you to look at the bottom of that spell. And then you have to deal with the karma of forcing somebody to be with you because you're not aligned with who you are. Because if you love who you are, you're just going to allow whoever to be with you in that concurrent moment. There's no forcing of any kind. Why would you choose to do love spells on somebody to force them to be with you? Why would you do that? Is that the story of your legacy? Well, the only reason why you're with me is because I did a binding spell on you and I do sex magic with you every time we have sex. Okay, and that's your story? That's how loving of you are of yourself? That's how self-respectful of you are? It's a choice. There's no judgment. But is that really who you are? The only way you have people to stay with you is by doing magic on them, and enslavement magic and glamour magic and suppression magic and voodoo magic and binding magic. Is that the only way you get people to stay with you? And how's that for your romance story? Are you going to put that in your notes when you're standing up doing your wedding speech? Oh, I just forced them to be with me. I did magic on them every day for the last 18,000 years. And finally, they're going to be with me. So you want to force creation to work with your narrative. Okay, well, how about you just heal your insecurity? How about you just heal your no sense of self? Because you can't force anybody to be with you in their story. They don't want to be in your character. They don't want to be a character in your story. I keep telling everybody from Calgary, I don't want to be in your story. We're not aligned. There's no alignment on any level. There's no alignment in any way on any level. And I keep telling you that. Stay out of my energy. And the more that you try and get into my energy, the more God's going to knock you out and the more negative karma you're going to get, because you've been told, go do your healing. I am not your issue. You've manifested a lot of stuff off of me. And none of you have repaid any of that stuff. You just keep throwing hate at me and you keep throwing entitlement at me because you've been used to getting your stuff off of me. You've been used to manifesting off of me because everybody knows the luxury of my energy. I can feed a whole city if I want to. But now you're all cut off because you've done nothing but abuse and use and make nothing but poor choices because it's selfishness and greed and corruption. Nobody has done anything to make anything right. Therefore, thus then, sit in us. Sit in it. Sit and learn the lessons of it. Sit and learn why you did what you did. Because your intention is your outcome. It's your intention. You chose it. Again, be very clear about why you're doing what you're doing because it's coming back tenfold and we're getting more and more omnipotent. That means you're becoming more and more source harmonized. Source is showing you every day you are source. What are you not getting? This is where you have to let go of the lower vibrational 3D beliefs about church and state. You are divine source creator. Do you want to know how to work with your light body? Yes or no? You are divine source creator. You are the mother and the father. Do you want to learn how to work with your chakras? Yes or no? You are divine source creator. You're divine mother. You are divine father. Do you want to know the codes and the gifts and the skills and the talents that are held within your codons of your DNA? Yes or no? These are the rules of engagement, dear lighted ones. Welcome to 5D. Who are you? Is it going to be worth doing a bit of ascension pathwork every day? We ask every one of you, please fall in love with who you are. Fall in love with creation. God is magnificent. God is living through you in every moment if you so wish. Breathe with intention to have God be with you and live with you and direct you and guide you. There is nothing greater than that relationship with God. God is. I am. In these last few seconds, dear lighted ones, take a deep breath, clear and cleanse your fields, place your feet on the ground. We're going to do a divine light language for the cosmic enlightenment of who we are as Divine Mother and Divine Father, that we become more in presence of every moment, presence for presence, breath of love and harmony of who we are as Source Creator. We'll just do an intention that I intend to walk with harmony, with romanticism, with love and engagement of my relationship with Source Creator in all moments. May Source show me who I am as Source. May Source show me that I am love and I am honor and I am respect for all that is life. Everything outside of me is the life of Source. And it's showing me the picture and the play that I play in any character moment that I choose to be. The main character, the antagonist, the backseat driver, whatever it is that I choose to play, I am Source living out Source. And I choose to be respectful and honoring, in healing and loving and harmonizing in every moment. This light language will clear away any densities that are keeping me from being my highest Source version. To see the Divine Feminine equal as the Divine Masculine in all moments that come forward. And I am that I am. Divine Holy Creator, Lord Michael, and the healing angels, please come to anybody and all those beings today that are asking for specific help to heal and cleanse and clear away any densities of their bodies. Visualize white crystalline light bathing upon your field. Visualize the beautiful violet rays and the violet flames bathing and cleansing your fields and your aura and your chakras. Visualize the violet flame cleansing and purifying and cleansing away as you place your feet deep into the ground and deep into the soils and deep into the earth. And just feel yourself being bathed with love and light, because you are love. Intend love. Intend love as you breathe. I am love. I am love. My cells are love. My organs are love. My choices are love. If I love myself, I choose higher vibrational choices and feelings and patterns. I choose to be engaged with romance of life. I choose to be engaged with loving partners and loving tribe. I choose to create loving essence and communication with my cells and my body. Alama ke te ke shia na ma da de ke na na kai de ke na ma aya na na a. Ela ma kara de ke na ma kara de ke na na kara de ke na 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 e sia na ma kai la la la. Ela na na e sia na ma kai na ne ya na ma e te ke shia na na ma e de ke na na e da ma e na na ya. E sia na makata e na makata de ke na lala yiti ke sia na kara lai na na makata ke sia na matai na ke na makate na ma a ya na ira ya sia na ma a e te ke li sia ma te ke sia ma a e sia na a e te ke sia ma a sia na ma a te ke sia na ma a te sia si ti banda te sia na ma a te sia na a Ela mai de ke se ananaka, ela mai de ke se anaka e de ke enana e se anaka te enana e anana e anana a. Asha mama a e. Te se na makata da ana a te ke se na a te ke se ma a te ke se na. We love you, delighted ones. You are loved by creation. Creation loves you. There are delights in your reality. Seek them out. Seek your engagement. Seek your relationship with Source Creator. In life and water and air and fire, Source is, you are, one. We love you, delighted ones. Sessions and healings and activations and vocational alignments, we love you, we love you, we love you. Go out and seek the joy of life. Seek the wonderment of life. Seek the miracles of life. Seek the unity of life. It is. These are rules that are just embedded within you. As within, so without, as above and so below, we love you, delighted ones. And we wish you namaste. Thank you, delighted ones. Thank you for joining us today. And we're going to sign off now. And anybody wish to donate and book a session, we love you and we thank you. Use my PayPal. And we thank you and we love you. And please share our videos and please share our platforms. Thank you. Namaste, namaste, namaste.